It's your boy Mikey Step Back, live and in charge. We about to get in. I can't talk as loud as I usually do. I'm in a Panera Bread, but I said I'm committed to giving you guys this NBA playoffs. And we talking about the Brooklyn, where Brooklyn at? Brooklyn Nets versus the Boston Celtics in the next round. 8 o'clock's the game, and the 10:30 game Portland versus Denver. Let's get into this Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at? The last game they played with each other, I'm going to go to that. Boston versus the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving went off 15, 9, 11, almost a triple double. But then they also had no Durant. So I just want to put that in perspective for you. The last game played between the Boston Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets had just one Kyrie Irving, and this was the box score 109 to 104. All right, that's with Jeff Green doing his thing with 19, Joe Harris shooting the bucket. You have Shamet, who I think can step up more, and then Deandre Jordan doing his thing on the rebound. Man, I still think they need some size, but it is what it is with the roster. Can you imagine what happens when Kevin Durant and James Harden also enter in the lineup to play the Boston Celtics? I hate to say it, folks, it's going to be a tough road for the Boston Celtics unless, let's look on the other side. I got to play devil's advocate here. Kemba Walker was not playing for the Boston Celtics in that game. He's a big X factor. Jaylen Brown is out. We know about Jaylen Brown not playing. So we got to get to this activity and understand what's going on with Kemba Walker. Can he come through with a 40-pointer, 10 assist type game? Can Jason Tatum come up with a big game with another 50-point game he just had? He had to score 38 to keep him in this game. It's going to be interesting to see what we get in these playoffs with Boston versus Brooklyn. Now, let's look at the rosters real quick and see who we got. Starting lineups, the depth charts, and let's go in because the Nets are actually coming in pretty healthy, except for Spencer Dinwiddie, who had the ACL injury and is trying to recover. All right. Point guard, James Harden, he's back. Had the hamstring injury. I don't think we'll see him at 100%. You know, all of us are former athletes in this thing. You know, when you get the hamstring injury, it's tough to recoup. It takes a little bit of time. It's probably going to be 80% through these playoffs, right? Shooting guard wise, Kyrie Irving's going to be there. You know what he's going to do is scoring the ball. He always gets injured in the playoffs for some reason. We'll figure that out here. But if he can remain healthy, if I'm the coach, I say go 85%, don't go 100%, don't need to, right? Next up is Joe Harris at the small forward position. Joe Harris is shooting the clip pretty well. He got paid this summer, and guess what? He's worth all the play. Joe Harris is Dan Marley, basically playing Dan Marley from the Phoenix Suns. Remember that guy? He's shooting the ball out the gym. Kevin Durant comes in at the power forward position, and they switched it up, and they're doing well with it. Blake Griffin is playing the center position now. Gives him a little bit more pace, a little bit more speed. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there with Blake Griffin at the center position. Right? Now we jump over to the other side. Let me come back here. X factors for the Nets. We know what Irving, Harden, and Durant are going to bring to the table. My expectation is every night, two of those guys give you 80. Okay? I don't know which two will give you 80, but two of those guys will give you 80 points. Right? Somebody's going to be off. Nobody's perfect all the way through. Joe Harris, Landry Shamet, and I'm going to say it here, Mike James is now an X factor for this team the way he's been playing in the regular season. The boy can ball. He's part of the step back factory. You know what that is. He can step back all day long, and he's doing a great job in the replacement of Chris Chiozza, who had an injury that put him out and they needed a replacement. On the defensive side, DeAndre and Mr. Claxton is all they got. They brought in Alizé Johnson, who's supposed to be a poor man's Ron Artest. We got to see what Alizé can do for this team if he plays the minimal minutes. But from an offense perspective, with Shamet, with your boy Mike James, you got Mr. Harris. They're pretty solid. Cabarrot's another guy. Pretty solid. When you got three big guys, three big scores, they can give you 110 just between the three. You heard it here first. Yeah, I mean, literally, right? They can give you 40, 40, 40. 40, 40, 35. Just with Harden, Durant, you don't need much there. That's all the offense you need. Then you add on Harris, Shemet, and your boy Cabarro. It's scary. It is scary from an offensive perspective. But defensively is where I think they have some needles that can be pinched. You know James Harden don't play defense. So how much can Kemba Walker give you? All right? How much can a point guard give to James Harden? Because he doesn't play defense. He's all offense. Next up, center position. Deandre Jordan hasn't looked the same. He's older. You know what happens with age as you get older. You lose your mobility, you lose your athleticism, your knees start to go. So let's see what he has left in the tank. But he's playing minimal minutes. Reggie Perry hasn't played much. Not sure what he can do, but my last guy that has to do his thing that no one's talking about, Jeff Green. He's been solid all year. Jeff Green has been the glue that makes this thing stick. Peanut butter with your jelly. Jeff Green, if he gives you 12, 13 points with the minimum minutes, I don't think there's anything stopping the Brooklyn Nets from making the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go over to the Celtics side. I went deep into the Brooklyn Nets depth chart. Let's go take a quick peek. And yes, I'm in the Panera working my other businesses. Like I told you, I'm committed. I'll still do these videos. I don't care where I'm at. All right? Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker at the point guard position. Marcus Smart. They may have a win there. All right? They may have a win. They are guard heavy. All right? Look what they got on the bench. Creighton Pritchard, Tremont Waters, Carson Edwards doesn't even play. I mean, he needs to lead this team. I'm going to go into that in another video. But Kemba, Marcus, strong lineup. Evan Fournier comes in as the backup from Orlando. To me, he's their number 2 guy now, or number 3. Number 3. All right, Kemba, Jason, Evan Fournier is now your number 3 guy. He's going to have to put up 20-plus point games for them to have a chance to win. All right, and Aaron Naismith, the draft pick, comes in. You got Romeo Langford as well, strong pick from Indiana. Just doesn't have enough minutes to develop. And I'm going to get into some of my X factors. Jason Tatum, they got him at the power forward position playing small ball. He's not that, so possibly Durant's going to be able to eat off of him a lot. So I think Durant's going to go off the most. And then you got my X factor is Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker, the guy they picked up from the Sacramento Kings, who I said he needed to be picked up. He's a sleeper. If he gets the minutes, could he be Jaylen Brown? If he does somehow become Jaylen Brown, just from a scoring perspective, watch out for the Celtics bringing a scare to the Brooklyn Nets. At the center position, Robert Williams, the big leaper, gets rebounds, can dunk. Tristan Thompson's the bulldozer, the muscle man. He's going to go in. He may cause some trouble just to cause some trouble because they know they're going to lose. So watch out for Tristan Thompson trying to start some beef to try to get in the heads of the Brooklyn Nets, and that's a good play for them. That said, when you look at this roster, as is, not sure they can make it. I got them winning maybe 1 game or 2 games. After that, it's a wrap. I got the Celtics going down in 6 games and the Brooklyn Nets taking over. Game starts in 10 minutes. I want to do my review. I'll do a live chat after this, and then we'll go into the Portland Trailblazers in Denver. Look at Jokic, what he got left. See what he can do with Parker and your boy Parker. What's his name? Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. Those are 2 guys that be X factors there. So I'm gonna sign off here. Let's see if anyone's chatting. I'm gonna jump off here, fellas, man, because I gotta get some work done. We'll watch the NBA playoffs, biggest time of the year. Step back, kids. I'm out of here. Go watch some dunk videos. I'm gone.